Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 19 of Beyond the Tap. I am your host, Brian, the Beard Bro, and wanted to say welcome back to any of you who are longtime listeners. Thanks for sticking with us. Today in the studio, we have the amazing Nicole from Sweetwater Brewing down in Atlanta, Georgia. So let's go ahead and bring her in here. Nicole, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for making time coming out here into the middle of nowhere, Arkansas.
You guys are definitely in the middle of nowhere.
You know, we like it that way. It kind of keeps people away. No. But, seriously, thanks for coming in. Sweetwater Brewing, I mean, I've had several of your beers already in life. Not today, unfortunately, but we're going to get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So, come on in. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how'd you get hooked up with a sweet deal like Sweetwater?
So, long story, I'll make kind of short. It was an accident how I got into the beer industry. I started working for a local distributor in Arkansas, and they were all about marketing and IT for me, so that's kind of how I started out. And I volunteered for a beer event.
Okay.
They needed someone to come pour beers for them. At that point, I knew very little about beer. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. I'm in.
Why not?
So after volunteering for, I don't know, probably 100 or so, the buyer was like, hey, I don't want to order beer, wine, and spirits anymore. I want you to do it. So I started as a buyer.
All right.
Before Sweetwater, I actually was a brand ambassador for Green Flash in 3 states before they pulled out and left us.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I've been with Sweetwater for almost 3 years, and I love it.
Very cool. Very good. Now, you're here in Arkansas, right?
I am, yeah. So I'm actually based here in Arkansas, but I cover Arkansas, Kansas, and Southwest Missouri.
Okay. All right. So, I'm sure you're in my area that I grew up around. I know I grew up around Fort Scott and Kansas City and all that whole area, so...
Nice.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I know you mentioned Green Flash, too.
Yeah.
So I've been out to them, back, I guess, whenever they were a thing. But, yeah. So I love their beer as well. So it's really cool how you got started.
Yeah.
And, that's fantastic. So Sweetwater, how has the, intro into there been? I mean, how's everything grown for you during that time?
So it's amazing. They are very hands-on with training. They bring you to the brewery. They teach you all about shelf life and how they make the beers, which is great. I can't talk highly enough about them. They're a great company to work for. We're all about the outdoors.
Yeah.
Fishing, water conservation. I mean, we're paired up with Trout Unlimited, Waterkeepers Alliance. We do a lot of things locally, even here with TU. So they're a great company.
That was going to be a question of mine because I know your logo has a trout. So I would imagine that you guys were probably pretty outdoorsy.
We are, yeah.
Do you guys ever do like, company trout fishing trips or anything like that?
We have one coming up actually in April. We're going to come out and we're going to bring the VP out and we're going to do some fishing on the White River.
Nice. I've actually fished the White. It's really good. That and over at Norfolk, yeah.
Yeah, I fished last November. I got to go out with Steve Daly, one of our guides, and it was like nonstop. We caught like 30 fish in like 3 hours. Like it was nonstop catching. It was so much fun.
Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of crazy too, especially over in like the Norfolk area where you just watch the water rise every time they release something from the dam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know that can change the fishing. And we had a huge brown trout. I'm going to tangent already in this thing, but a huge brown trout that completely snapped my line within the first 15 minutes. And then I spent the rest of the day chasing that one down.
Of course. You got to get the big one, right?
You had to try, but I totally didn't get it. That's okay.
Next time.
So what are we drinking? I know we've already got a beer here, and this is what, the one that started it all?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is our Sweetwater 420 Pale Ale. It's delicious. It is one of my favorite beers, but here's a question for you. Do you know where we got the name 420?
I could make an assumption.
Please do.
Would it have to do with a certain plant?
It does not.
Does not, see?
Big shocker.
I know.
So that is
I have
actually...
to wait for my guests to, listen in. What? Is that what you were expecting?
Along with everybody else.
I know.
That was actually the date that we started brewing our pale ale was on 420.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, I know that there's something coming up in the episode. You'll catch it in the second half. We've got kind of a big deal recently, speaking of 420.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then this is the beer that started it all.
It is.
Now, was this started in just a home brewer setting, or kind of where did Sweetwater begin?
So Freddie started brewing kind of at home and went from there. This is this is our big thing. We actually used to be in a smaller brewery, and now we're out towards Buckhead in Atlanta. It's huge. If you ever get a chance to get out there, we've totally redone our tap room. All new bar, wraparound bar. We now have food, which is awesome.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned you're in 25 states.
Yeah.
But before we got started, you mentioned a kind of a big deal about this Sweetwater 420.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners and viewers where do you guys fall? What's special about this beer?
So a lot of people don't realize this, but us being in only 25 states, we're actually the number 2 pale ale in the nation.
Wow.
So Sierra beats us out. They're number 1. They're in all 50 states. They've been around a little longer.
Yeah.
We've been around for 23 years, and we hold the number 2 spot. This beer is amazing.
That's pretty awesome. Who's behind you?
Oh, I don't even know who's behind
it's okay,
in number
doesn't
3.
matter.
Doesn't matter. If you're not first or second, you're last, right?
Exactly. If you're not the lead 2 sled dogs, then your view
That's
never
right.
changes.
Exactly.
Something like that. But so very cool. And then I know we've got a couple others here. If we just want to touch on them really quick of what we'll be drinking.
Sure.
We have the G13. Tell us just a little snippet about that one and what we can start to expect from that.
So this is part of our strain series. This was our number 1 strain series in 2019. It was also the number 1 IPA in 2019.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of terpenes in it, so it's gonna smell a little bit like weed when you drink it. Big surprise, right?
For something with in something called the strain series, I would imagine it better have that.
Yeah.
So
it should.
yeah. If it doesn't, you're failing.
Oh, well, we're not going to fail at that beer, so.
I'll drink to that. Okay, and then so this is one that I'm super excited for right here because before the show I was telling you Hazy is definitely one of my favorite types of beer.
Yes, so we're really excited about this beer. We launched it early. We were going to wait and give it to you guys in 2021, and we thought, oh, no, why not?
Yeah.
We need something good to end 2020 with, right?
Exactly.
So
everyone does.
This is a total juice bomb, and you're going to see us pour this later. It is delicious. It looks just like orange juice.
Okay.
But it tastes better.
And this is the pursuit of haziness.
It is.
I love that.
This is our Hazy Ipa, and it's actually spelled out like an acronym. We do not have anything set for that, so you guys feel free. Tell us what you think that acronym stands for.
Oh, come on. I feel like Beyond the Tap folks, we've got to be able to come up with the right acronym for this. So if you've got, you're telling me there's no meaning behind it.
Nope.
Okay, we've got to come up with something. Go ahead and put this down in the comments below. Tell us what Hazy should stand for, because I am bound and determined to get Beyond the Tap recognized at some point in some brewer's beer. And this would be the perfect way to do that, especially with a Hazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the last one we're going to touch on today is one you mentioned is your personal favorite.
Yes.
What is this one?
So this is our 420 strain Chocolope Stout. It is, to me, it's like a pot brownie. So it's part of the strain series. So we have terpenes, but I love stouts. I make this into my brownies. I actually use this instead of water. Oh, delicious brownies, but amazing beer for stout. Oh, so good.
Yeah. No, I'd imagine. Now, based on trading that out for water, does that make the brownies any thicker or any, like,
No.
is it just the flavor is different?
It's just the flavor's a little bit more rich. I use Ghirardelli mix, and actually Seth over at Uptown, we started doing this last year when we had this as our seasonal, and so now it's like my go-to thing. As soon as Chocolope comes out, I'm like, ooh, into brownies.
Yeah, you gotta jump on that one.
Yeah,
and now, do you ever do it with like add peanut butter or anything in there?
Ooh, I do love. I haven't done that yet, but I do love some peanut butter.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
I might do that this weekend.
If you do it this weekend, you gotta message me and let me know how it turns out.
Oh, of course.
So, and big old shout out to Seth there. What's up, buddy? Okay, so tell me a little bit more. Like we were talking about, Sweetwater. It got started out as a little homebrew. Now, did you ever homebrew, or did you?
I did not.
Yeah.
No.
Would you like to sometime?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. Well, maybe they'll be able to hook you up and show you how to do that. I did my first homebrew earlier this year, and it actually turned out to taste like beer, which was good. Which was actually the quote of the episode. There was, "This tastes like beer,"
Hey,
which
there
was
you
great,
go.
and that was by a local brewer here.
Yeah.
So you are in 25 states.
We
number
are, yeah.
2 pale ale in the entire U.S. That still just blows my mind.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So then, what other beers? How many beers do you guys have on tap? On available year-round, really.
Well, so that actually changes. So we actually have our Sweetwater Brewing location, and then we also have attached to us the Woodlands.
Okay.
So the Woodlands has more of our barrel-aged stuff, our sours, some of our barrel-aged stouts, and funky stuff. So we have different things on tap there at a different, I mean, it just kind of comes and goes. We also have some really cool stuff at the brewery called Dank Tank, and that's when our brewers get to have a little bit of fun.
Little test batches or something.
Yeah, they get to put some stuff in the Dank Tank, make it super dank. We put a lot of stuff on tap, and we kind of want to, we want our consumers to come in and taste it and tell us what they think.
Yeah.
I mean, we're making beer for them. We want to be with them.
That's great. And I was going to say, so like I've heard of other brewers specifically doing something like this where they actually will invite their mug clubs or things like that to help them name new beers. And so do you guys have any development process like that?
So
you could totally do that.
We've got Nick Knock, who is our head brewer, that comes up with some fun names.
One that's a fantastic name in itself.
Of course.
Salute you.
And then, of course, we've got our marketing team, and we have some fun. We do a lot of stuff at our 420 Fest. We've got this tent set up where we put some beers out there, and we have people purchase tokens. And the beers that get the most tokens, we're like, oh, this might be an option for us.
Yeah, might be a longer-term research there.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, you said 420 Fest?
Yes.
So what's 420 Fest, and does it happen, I would imagine, on 420?
Typically, yes. If the calendar day falls on that, it's a big 3-day music fest.
Unless you're in a pandemic.
Yeah, sucks to be us right now. I was super sad to miss this one, but it's a big 3-day music fest with Sweetwater beers, vendors, 3 different stages. I mean, it's just so much fun. And tie-dye, so much tie-dye.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
It's downtown at Centennial Park.
Okay.
We've had it just about every year except for pandemic year. And we're lined up to hopefully have it in 2021. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, we got a good wood bar here.
Yeah, we don't want 2021 to say, hold my beer, let's see what happens. So.
No, not unless it's in the good redneck way, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then you just ramp something very heavy off of something very high. And
that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a beer in your hand, red Solo cup too.
Exactly. You have to have the Solo cup. If you don't, well, better luck next time.
Want.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself. You obviously you work in beer and things like that.
Do.
You live here in Arkansas. How long have you lived here? Did you grow up around here?
So I'm originally from California.
Okay.
I moved to Arkansas to actually help my grandfather take care of my grandmother when she was still alive, and then I stayed.
Yeah.
I like it. It's this may sound bad, but it was slow paced. Like California, so go. Out here, people are relaxed. They're friendly. They like to drink beer.
They like the back porch sitting.
That's right. Me too. Give
Yes.
me a good rocking chair and a good sunset. I'm good.
Well, cool. Well, tell you what. Let's move on to the next beer.
Yeah.
I'll kill this one here really quick, but
Cool.
let's talk about the flavor of this G13. You mentioned a little bit about it a while ago.
Yes.
Have some terpenes in there, so it's definitely going to have a little green smell to it. But is there anything else that we need to know about this beer?
Well, I need you to open yours first so I can talk about this delightful aroma that, unfortunately, you guys on the other side can't smell. So sorry.
All right, let me try this out. Well, first of all, while we're pouring this and you're waiting on me to smell it, can we get this? We can get this here locally, right?
Yes. So we're on tap at a few places. Locally, we're in almost just about every liquor store. You can also, right? Uh-huh.
I'm just going to need
Go
a
ahead,
moment.
say it.
I feel like I should be smiling even more just from smelling it. That's incredible.
So this is such a good IPA. Like I said, I mean, you can get us in Walmart. You can get us in Harps. I mean, you can go down to your favorite local liquor store, and if they don't have it,
you can go to Uptown.
Yeah, go to Uptown.
Yeah.
Go visit Seth. Say, hey, Seth, G13 needs to be on tap. So I will note, when we first launched it, it was very heavy with the terpenes.
Okay.
So we had places like local family places. They were like, hey, we don't want to have this on tap. It smells like pot.
Well, really quick, before we go far down that hole, what are terpenes for people who don't know? Because I know I'm ignorant for the most part.
Kind of like essential oils.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we actually infuse this with terpenes that actually mimic the flavor profile of the actual strain G13.
Okay.
So that is what you're going to get off the aroma of this beer.
Absolutely. So now I'm not going to, obviously, I'm sure the question on some people's minds, if I drink this, I'm not going to, like, have a test and
No,
fail or
there's
anything,
no
right?
THC, no CBD, nothing like that in this.
Yeah.
You're perfectly fine. You can drink 6 of these. You can drink more of these.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't recommend driving if you do that, but
No. Get an Uber.
Yeah,
We
please
can do
Uber. But no testing. You're good to go.
No, okay. Well, sweet. That's good. I mean, because I tell you what, from the smell of it, yeah, I've definitely smelled that smell
Recognize
before.
that
yeah.
scent there?
And I mean, no confessions or anything. But yeah, no, that smells amazing. I think, and the flavor is really great for an IPA. It's not overly hoppy.
It's not. So
I like that. You guys get a little shot of that.
It's
That's
nice.
beautiful.
It's easy to drink, especially for the people that are like just trying to get into IPAs. And you don't want something that's going to wreck your palate later. You want to be able to drink a beer and taste your food.
It's the gateway IPA.
It is. It's a good gateway IPA.
I like that.
I like to be able to taste my pizza or my burgers or anything else after drinking a beer. So.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want it wrecking your palate because then for the rest of the, like the next hour, you're kind of catching up a little bit.
It's funny. I actually, when I do tastings, I have people tell me all the time, I don't like IPAs. I don't like pale ales. And I'm like, you haven't tried ours.
Well, and it's like, Bianca used to say was, it's not that you don't like beer, it's that you haven't found the beer you like yet.
That's right. You got to find the one you like.
You got to keep looking.
Yeah. I love turning people onto our beers. I've had domestic drinkers be like, no, I don't drink that stuff. I don't drink that sissy stuff. And I'm like, just try it. And they try it and they're like, oh my God, this is good.
Yeah.
And they'll go grab an extra 6-pack versus their Bud Light and Coors Light. Like,
golly. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. What's, if you had to throw a ballpark out there, what's the average cost for one of your 6-packs?
Anywhere from $8.99 to $9.99 for a 6-pack.
Yeah. Super easy. Super easy
great.
to pick up. You're not spending much more than your domestics.
I mean, think about it. If you go to a bar or restaurant, you're going to spend $6-7 on a beer.
On one beer.
Yeah.
One
why
beer.
not get 6 too?
I once spent $8 on a Blue Moon at a Chiefs game.
Oh my.
That was.
Oh, I can't say anything. I think I spent like $10 at a Dallas game for beer.
Oh yeah, margaritas especially can get up there as well. But
I don't know. I don't get margaritas at football games.
No. Well, I'll tell you what. So if you are, if you're definitely into IPAs, or if you're not into IPAs and you want to be, that's a great place to start. I gotta tell you.
It is. It's a great place to start. I do recommend starting with our 420 just because it's a little easier on your palate, not so hoppy, nice and light, and then up your game. Pick up a G13.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take just a short break really quick. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors over at Heritage Indian Motorcycle here in Northwest Arkansas. And, we're going to grab us just a little conversation here, and we'll see you next half of Beyond the Tap.
Sure thing.
Hey everyone, it's Brian here, and I'm so excited to tell you about the all-new 2021 American V-Twin models from Indian Motorcycle. Now, if you haven't heard of Indian, they're America's very first motorcycle company, and autumn here in the Ozarks, it's the perfect time to take one out for a test ride. I've been by the dealership, I've seen what quality craftsmanship looks like, and you should too. I'm telling you, the new 2021 models are incredible. They've got the Scout and Scout 60, or if you're like me and you like a little more stripped down, more blacked out look to it, you'll want to check out their Scout Bobber and Scout Bobber 60. They've even got the liquid-cooled Indian Challenger, which if you didn't know, was named 2020 Motorcycle of the Year by both Rider Magazine and Thunder Press. So head over to Heritage Indian Motorcycle in Rogers, Arkansas today to schedule a test ride, or check them out online at heritageindiannwa.com or call 479-633-8443. And remember, always wear your helmet, never drink and ride, and be sure to follow all local laws, including any social distancing guidelines in your area.
All right, so if you like what you're hearing here on Beyond the Tap, make sure and head over to YouTube and subscribe to us. Hit that little bell so you make sure and get the notifications every single time that we post a new episode here. It's really nice, right? What are you doing back here? And also, make sure and check us out on Apple iTunes podcast section. Subscribe to us there. And do you know we're also on Spotify?
Yes.
There's nothing in there yet, but that's okay. So check us out. If you really, really like what you're hearing here, then you want to head over to patreon.com, and you can actually contribute to the show and making this the awesome success that it clearly already is.
and throw a few bucks at us. You can earn some cool perks along the way. Visit patreon.com/beyondthetap today to check out more.
And to some of my friends who, bucks may not come so quickly to you, feel free to subscribe to us. That's important to us as well. Or review us. Give us 5 stars. You think we're 5 stars? I think we're 5 stars.
I think so.
And that's just as important. So follow us. Stay tuned. There's a lot coming your way.
True story. See you next time on Beyond the Tap.
How's it going? Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of episode 19 here of Beyond the Tap, where we've got Nicole from Sweetwater in. And I tell you what, we are getting ready to dive in to a very, very beautiful hazy.
Isn't it gorgeous?
IPA. Now, we got a lot of stuff to talk about because I know during the break, several topics came up, and I wrote them down here. But this hazy, quick reminder for anybody watching or listening right now, HAZY, you have periods in between here. So it's an acronym, but it's an acronym that means nothing. So BTT crew, we got to come up with what the meaning of that is.
Be prepared. If you come up with an awesome one, I might kidnap it for social media.
That's okay. That's great. We'll name it and hashtag Beyond the Tap. And we'll go from there. But it smells amazing. I haven't tasted it yet.
We have to fix that. It's delicious.
I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I would hope a hazy IPA would taste like.
So this is double dry hopped. It's a total juice bomb. And as you guys can see, it is like really thick orange juice. It is so hazy.
So thick.
That's amazing.
It's like a mixture between orange juice and grapefruit juice as the coloring goes. It's really good. That's like really solid. There's no pulp though.
No, no pulp.
Good news, everybody. There's no pulp in the
no pulp,
Sweetwater
good beer.
hazy. So tell me now, is this how many hazy IPAs or hazy beers do you guys have currently, or do you do them frequently? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So this is our first hazy beer that we've launched. This is part of our core lineup. So right now our 420 and then our G13 and our hazy, these are our core beers.
Okay.
So like I said, we just launched this one. I'm super excited about this beer just because it's giving the consumers what they want.
Yeah.
Like hazies are really popular in today's society. Everyone wants something that's hazy, and then they get a beer that's not hazy, and they're like, what happened?
Yeah.
But this, total haze, total juice bomb. It's delicious.
I mean, you can taste the citrus in it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how I would assume they use Citra hops?
We do use Citra hops, El Dorado hops, Azeka hops. It's delicious, hoppy, and juicy.
It's very tasty. You said this is double hopped even. So that's
double dry hopped, yes.
So good. So good. Not going to lie, guys. This is probably one of the best hazies that I've ever had in my life. So, and I've had a lot of hazies because I drink a lot of beer. So, well done, Sweetwater, on that one. Yeah, so
thanks.
Let's go back really quick.
Yeah.
Before the break, before the break, we were drinking the G13 IPA.
We were, yes.
And it has a very distinct aroma to it. You were telling us a little story during the break, though, about a local festival that you attended as a beer rep, and you were representing Sweetwater there.
I was.
And the cops kept coming around. So tell our listeners and viewers what happened there.
So I was working Little Rock Beer Festival down there, and it was so funny because we had double lines of people at our table, just full lines of people. They wanted to know. Yeah, of course. Well, the cops, were just patrolling back and forth, and you could see that they were like, all right, where's it coming from? And
did you have that don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious playing in the background?
I wish I did. I wish that would have made this perfect.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And so finally I had to call the cop over, and he was like, no. I was like, no, come here. Like, I know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay? I had him smell the beer, and he was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He was like, radioed all the rest of the police officers there, had them come over and check out this beer. Like,
it's like, guys, we've gotta squash this right now because there's no weed.
No.
Sorry to let you down, drug dogs. You can go away now. You can go back to your cars or your kennels and hang out because there's no weed. So you had how many cops do you think came by?
Oh, there was at least 7 or 8.
Oh, that's amazing.
At least.
It's amazing. Well, we got to love our LRPD, though.
Of
You
course.
got to love them because they're out there protecting everybody.
That's
making
right.
sure
They're doing their
safe.
job. I get it.
And but yeah, that's pretty great that your beer smells that much like it that they just
It does.
walking past.
It's
pick
so
up on
funny.
it.
I will have people that, they're not big beer drinkers, but
Yeah.
they do smoke. And
Yeah.
so they'll pop this up and they're like, oh, I recognize that.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And now tell me, the G13 or the strain series. I
Yeah.
guess the strain series. How many strain series are there?
So there are quite a few. Right now we have a stash box that has 4 different strains in it.
Okay.
And it has our G13, which is our IPA. It has our Trainwreck, which is our double IPA. It has our Jack Hare, which is a seasonal harvest ale, kind of like an ESB.
Okay.
And then it also has my favorite Chocalope.
I can't wait to get to that one. That one sounds really good. We were chatting just a little bit about it during the break and stuff, and I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Now we had one of our crew members was asking about the tie-dye.
Yeah.
I've got to get to the tie-dye because it's clearly built into a couple different packaging things.
It is.
Your bottle opener, the bumper stickers, and I heard something about a car.
Yes. So I'm sure some of you have seen me driving around in my little tie-dye Kia Soul. If you see me, beep, wave. Make sure you wave, because if you just beep, I'm just going to think you're being mean to me.
Yeah, she'll flip you off.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what? No.
But yeah, so it's a total tie-dye. It looks just like the stickers in the banner that's down here.
Yeah.
It says all kinds of funny things. Like on the right panel, it says muffins. Just because our artist, he kind of gets baked out of his mind, and anytime anyone says anything remotely funny
I like it.
or just neat, he puts it into the artwork. So not all of our cars are the same. Some of our artwork's a little different.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ones on there is never walk into a bar with a duck. Good advice.
That's a lot of wisdom right there.
that is.
I tell you, guys, don't forget that if you have your duck with you, don't walk into a bar. It's easy. It's not that difficult. Man, I tell you what, this hazy. So this is your first hazy, and
Hazy that's outside of the strain series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I should have clarified there. But I tell you what, the flavor of this one is absolutely fantastic, and it says can conditioned for fresher taste.
That's right.
There you go. So yeah, if you guys, if you are a fan of hazy beers by any stretch of that definition, you got to check out this hazy IPA. So the hazy right there doesn't actually stand for anything yet, but I promise you, we're going to come up with something.
That's
for
right. We're
this.
challenging you guys.
I'll tell you
Here's
what.
your challenge. Come up with something fun.
Here's the thing. If somebody comes up, I'm just going to throw this out there right now. If one of my listeners comes up with the hazy IPA, or the hazy acronym that you guys end up choosing, that you're kind of like, hey, this could
Yeah.
actually be good. I'm gonna buy you 2 6-packs of Sweetwater just myself.
That's awesome.
There's
Thanks.
nothing on the table here. This is my personal deal. I'll buy you some Sweetwater beer, or obviously we can go over to Uptown and hang out with Seth, and I'll buy your beers there that night because I want this to happen, guys. I want this to happen so bad.
I'm excited for what they're going to come up with.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. It's going to be interesting to see if they can come up with some fun stuff.
Now, have you had anyone else come up to you about the hazy and be like, "Oh, I think I've got one"? And you're like, "Yeah, that's absolute crap."
My teammates, we get together and we talk a little bit about it and what funny things. It's really hard to get something with the Z.
Yeah.
That's the hard one. Mm-hmm. Other than zesty, I mean, you can come up with that, but
Well, you can have zebras in there. You can have zany.
yeah, I don't know about zebras for a beer. I might be a little off that one.
Whatever, no big deal. So tell us a little bit more. I know we were talking about the festival and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that because I love festivals, love music, love
Me
that
too.
scene. How big is that when it's happening? Obviously,
gosh.
outside of 2020. How big is it?
25,000 people easy.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge. So we take up all of Centennial Park. We have 3 different stages going on. We have vendors there, beer everywhere. It is such a good time. I am fingers crossed that we have that for 2021. I cannot wait.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we've got our vaccines out now.
That's
And
right.
I heard they're pushing a second one now, which will be
Oh.
out there pretty soon. But yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully, we can get back to normal life soon.
Ugh.
Whatever. Anyways, I give up on it. It's 2020. Screw it. All of it's out the window.
Yeah, we've got beer. That's okay.
Yeah.
Beer makes it better.
So tell us a little bit more. We're leading back into the next beer that we're not to it yet.
Yeah.
But we got the chocolate stout. You said you've used this in brownies.
I have, yeah.
Have you tried it in like chili or anything? I bet in chili that would be killer.
I have not tried it in chili, but I have had someone do it with smoking meats.
Ooh, okay.
So
Put that in the
poured
pan down at the bottom.
And it's been delicious. They've also made a like a barbecue sauce with it before.
Okay, all right.
So I mean that's another
now is that
thing.
just a personal thing or is
It
that a
is.
local collaboration?
No, it's just a personal thing. I challenge people. I mean, come on, tell us what you can make with some of these beers. I mean, people cook with beer all the time. Why not try it with Sweetwater?
I bet you could smoke a chicken with that or a turkey or something really well.
Maybe.
It could be good.
That's a good idea. I know Seth over at Uptown last year did some chocolate brownies with these that were amazing.
Yeah. And with that, they're since it's an establishment, there was only the beer and the brownies.
This is true.
This time. All right, so now you're in Atlanta, based out of Atlanta and everything. And now, do you have I can't remember. We touched on it in the first half.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of beers since then. Do you guys just have the main tap room, and then you said you're kind of having a little bit of the test brewery?
So we have our main brewery.
Okay.
And attached to it is the Woodlands.
Okay.
So that's where our sours, our barrel-aged stuff happens. But if you haven't been to Atlanta in the last 2 years, you definitely need to go back and check out our brewery.
Yeah.
We have updated our tap room. We used to have just this little L-shaped bar. We now have a wraparound bar. We have food. We have TVs. We have outdoor seating. It's beautiful and amazing.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm going to shift really quick here because I know in the first half we led in. We talked just a little bit. I teased you guys, and now we actually have to talk about it because there's been kind of some big news really recently within the Sweetwater circle. Do you want to tell us a little bit who owns Sweetwater? You guys were privately owned, right?
So we were privately owned, yes. We've been
when?
an independent brewery since 97. So guys, don't be shocked. We weren't bought out by AB or Miller Coors. We're not conforming to that. We float the mainstream. This is kind of our thing. So we were actually bought out by Afria, which is a global Canada cannabis company.
Really?
Yes.
So now how did that conversation start? I gotta know.
That's kind of above my pay grade. I'm not the owner,
right.
not with Freddie. But we were publicly traded, and our owner Freddie reached out and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm super excited to share this news with you." And Afria is on board, and so now they own us. I mean, what's better than being bought out by a cannabis company? We're all about 420.
Absolutely.
This is perfect.
Absolutely. I feel like it's the perfect marriage.
It is.
Right there.
It's amazing.
You have that, and then you mentioned that they're going into some different ventures, and now, tell us a little bit. Sweetwater, during the break, you were telling us a little bit. You guys are advocates for kind of just the legalization or just the kind of the normalization, really, removing some stigma around some stuff. I would imagine that this move with getting bought out by a Canadian cannabis company probably is a good move in that direction, right?
It is. It's a great move, and it's great for Afria as well, for them to, if hopefully, fingers crossed, that we get to federalization and legalization for everything. That'll be great for them and us because we'll get to play around a little bit more with it. I mean, we've kind of hinted to it with our G13 strains, got to play with some terpenes, but hopefully down the road in a few years when things get a little more lenient, we'll be ready to play.
Well, that was going to be my next question because I feel like that's the natural progression from something that smells, kind of tastes like a beer that actually is infused, even if just CBD. I know different cannabis companies have been looking at, infused energy drinks, things like that. And so now I feel like it's a really cool opportunity to have those bigger conversations and see where that leads. I'm excited for where Sweetwater's headed.
Oh, me too.
This is going to be
psyched.
amazing. Yeah. So now tell me, if we talked a little bit about during the break and everything, your current favorite, right, is the chocolate.
Yes, this is my seasonal favorite.
So what do you say we head into that one pretty quick here?
Let's do it.
Let's cheers to that.
I'm not a fast drinker as you are.
That's okay. I was not a fast drinker during our last episode. I totally lost a chug competition. But to be fair, Chris Butler is a pro.
Yeah.
So
No, he's like king to that. So.
yeah. I feel like
I don't even try. No.
there needs to be Chris Butler needs to be in a competition for who can shotgun faster.
Ooh, we could do that.
Oh, good Lord. I can smell that the second I open this thing.
Yeah, you can. Isn't that exciting? Look at that color. Oh, love this beer.
I feel like I'm going to have to watch out. Just holy smokes, that's amazing.
Don't spill this on you.
No.
Because if you get pulled over, I'm not responsible.
No, I can totally blow above the limit right now. Or below the limit, whatever. I can be sober. And if you spill this on you, they're not going to believe that
Oh, no.
you haven't been token up.
Not at all.
Good grief. Okay, all right. I'm going to pour this out.
That's gorgeous.
Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that head on there. Man, that is beautiful. Good grief. All right, so the Chocalope Stout.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the name come from for Chocalope?
So, believe it or not, it's actually a strain of weed.
Okay, all right.
So just like our G13 IPA is mimicked after the actual strain of weed, G13, Chocolope is as well.
Okay.
So we use terpenes that mimic the actual flavor profile of Chocolope.
Now, I've never had Chocalope, but I will say that smells and tastes incredible. I love stouts. We were talking during the break, too, about milk stouts, cream stouts, things like that.
Yeah.
And, wow, this is smooth.
It's good, right?
So now, who comes up with your beers? Who? I mean, obviously you have a head brewer, I'm sure.
We do, yeah. Nick Knock.
Yeah. Does he do it all? Is he the wizard, or does he have input?
He is our wizard. He does have input from some people, but he's definitely our wizard. He's our go-to guy. Our brewers at Sweetwater, they like to think out the box. We don't want to be inside the box with everyone else. We want to not float the mainstream. Don't float the mainstream. So hence why we're breaking out with some strain beers.
That is delicious.
Now, we did feel we went a little too heavy with strain beers this year. So in 2021, the only strain beers you're going to see is our G13 IPA and our Trainwreck Double IPA.
Okay. Now, is that just because you said, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit on this, or are you headed anywhere?
So we did really well with G13 when we first launched. It was the #1 new IPA in the nation, only being in 25 states, and it performed well. And then we kind of overloaded the system a little bit with too many strain beers, and we still feel that G13 has room to hunt. So it's a great IPA. We want to give it that room and bring out some new innovation with our beers like Hazy.
Now, have you guys been over, I'm sure you have, but for our listeners and viewers, have you been to GABF?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So what beers have you placed in there in recent years, or kind of what's that conversation look like?
We have, of course, with our 420, we've placed with some of our one-offs and things like that. We've placed bronze and gold, and we do amazing. We love the people at GABF, and it's a good time.
Yeah. What's the most recent award that you guys have won at Sweetwater?
Off the top of my head, I have no idea.
That's okay. That's all right. There's been a lot of them, right?
There has.
That's good. That's the sign of a success.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Well, very cool. I'm loving the beer. The Chocolope Stout. Again, it says brewed with chocolate. I'm just going to read this really quick here and just tell you the 420 strain is back in black with a chocolatey stout, head-turning aroma. Our unholy trinity of hope. Oh, sorry, hops. Hey, it's hopeful to me. I'm telling you what. Unholy trinity of hops, strain-specific terpenes, and natural hemp-type flavors complement a roasty malt backbone.
Hey, we need that hope in 2020, okay? We're good.
We need more than hope. We need strains.
We've got that.
That's what we need. I tell you what. Well, very cool. So I'm gonna shift totally on this one and say, okay, couple fun questions for you.
Uh-oh.
All right. So,
should I be nervous?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
But all right. So if you were a beer, what kind of a beer would you be? And why?
Well, I mean, my Sweetwater nickname is One Hop Mess. So.
Okay. One hop mess. I gotta. Now you open that door. You gotta tell me the story. Where's that come from?
So everyone at Sweetwater, we all have our own nicknames.
Yeah.
And I tend to try to do too many things at once. That's kind of, it's a strength and a weakness all at the same time. So sometimes it just gets the best of me and I'm one hot mess. Too much is going on.
That's all right. That's all right. I feel like as you're an entrepreneurial mind, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're always looking at the next thing. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm of a similar boat here. We're always trying to come up with new things to make the team better, make the show better. And
of course.
Yeah, you got to overcommit sometimes, right?
Oh, I don't know what kind of beer I'd be. Oh, my gosh. That's a hard decision. There's so many great beers out there. What? Now, are we talking style, flavor profile, or are you wanting like a
style.
name? Okay.
Let's just go with style.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you think you'd be more of like like a stout? Like, what's your favorite? I know for me, I would most likely be a hazy.
Are you a little hazy?
Mostly just because I can never remember anything. But
you sound like me.
Yeah, it works out.
If I don't have a reminder on my phone, I'm like, what's happening today?
Yeah. I've got to ask Alexa like 15 times a day of, hey, what's my next thing? So it works.
That's a good thing.
Reminders are
wonderful. I am not dark and mysterious, okay? My hair may be dark, but I'm not stout, dark, and mysterious.
The only place I'm dark is right in here. That's all I'm saying. That and here, I guess. But, oh well, I digress. Well, I tell you what, this has been a fantastic conversation.
Yeah.
I know it's been great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
So now you're here, based in Arkansas.
Yeah.
You guys are distributed in 25 different states.
We are.
And you mentioned Colorado is on the horizon.
It is.
Now you're not currently in Colorado.
We're not. No.
So obviously, I don't want you to get in trouble or anything like that. But is there anything else? Any other states that that are kind of?
We do. Yeah, we've got some states that we've kind of lined up. I mean, we're definitely looking towards Iowa and over on the eastern side, a little north of New York, a little more on the East Coast side up there.
Okay.
We're slowly expanding. We've got about, I think, 7 or 8 on the horizon for next year. So.
Well, that's awesome.
They get to look forward to getting our amazing beers.
Now, if you could pick one place in the entire world to have Sweetwater beer, where would you place it?
We are globally in
some
places. Oh.
Tell us about that, because I'm trying to wrap up the episode, and you're giving me more great stuff. So,
so we do have a little bit of beer over in Amsterdam and Finland, places like that.
You know what?
Don't
that
hold
doesn't
me
surprise
to those
me.
Exact locations. I know that we have a rep over there. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, is there a spot that you guys are not distributed currently that you'd like to be?
Oh, that I personally
if you would like
to
accomplish it. Like if it were on you, if it were on your shoulders to say, hey, I want Sweetwater beer in this location by next year. Well, what would it be?
That's a hard decision.
Yeah?
I'm on board with Sweetwater. I think Colorado's the place for us to be. I mean, our beers are lined up with 420. It's kind of like 420 Central in Colorado.
I feel like there should be like angels singing, little light going right down.
Exactly.
Well, very cool. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I tell you what, let's do this again, especially after you guys have kind of ventured a little bit more into the new ownership, and
we've got some fun beers for you in 2021.
Absolutely, we'll have to have you back for sure. And I know until then we can at least go over and hang out at Uptown.
Yes, please.
And let's go grab a beer over there then.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you again for joining us on episode 19 of Beyond the Tap. Super excited to have you with us. And if you would like to know all about us, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. We're all over the place. And if you want to know more about Sweetwater, where do they go to for Sweetwater? I know you're taking a drink right now. So
I am, yes. I'm drinking this amazing beer. You can actually go to our website, sweetwaterbrew.com, and we actually have where to find Sweetwater. You can put in your zip code. It'll tell you where we're at.
That's perfect.
I mean, you can go to and if for some reason you go to your local liquor store and you don't see it, tell them, hey, I want this beer.
Yeah, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to her. Whatever. We're good. We're going to make sure that you get Sweetwater as close to you as possible. So check us out. Make sure and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you don't miss any notifications for upcoming episodes and fun segments that we have coming up in 2021. I promise you guys, this year is going to be freaking fantastic. So we're going to have some fun, and we'll see you next time here on Beyond the Tap.